with us. In fact, we have some more inputs on this story. Congress leader Mumtaz Patel has in fact spoken ahead of the Supreme Court's hearing on the CBI's plea challenging Delhi High Court's decision against suspension of the 2017 Unnao rape case. Convict Kuldeep Sengar's life sentence today. Let's in fact listen in to what she has said.
सीबीआई भी कोर्ट में पहुंची है, इस केस को लेकर आप क्या कुछ अपना रुख रखना चाहते हैं?
देखिए, पूरी उम्मीद है, इतना प्रेशर पिछले 2-4 दिन में जो बना है उसके बाद सुप्रीम कोर्ट आज इस केस को हियर कर रही है। न्यायालय से पूरी उम्मीद रखते हैं और हम चाहते हैं कि कुलदीप सेंगर जो है फिर से जेल में जाएं और बल्कि फांसी की सजा होनी चाहिए।
मैम, जिस तरीके से कल देखा गया कि जंतर मंतर पर भारी प्रोटेस्ट देखा गया और जैसे कि देखा जा रहा है कि आज सीबीआई भी कोर्ट में पहुंची है, इस केस को लेकर आप
All right, so that was Congress leader Mumtaz Patel, who's also spoke on this entire hearing that is taking place in the Supreme Court. Remember that the Supreme Court is hearing the CBI's plea which challenges the Delhi High Court's decision against suspension of the 2017 Unnao rape convict Kuldeep Sengar's life sentence. A lot of protests have taken place regarding the same issue, and now we have people also coming out and speaking regarding the observations. Also joining us on the broadcast again is my colleague Sambhav Sharma with more on this. Sambhav, we obviously heard the Congress leader Mumtaz Patel speaking on this issue, a very important issue like you have been pointing out that the Supreme Court is going to hear.
Absolutely, and first what is the latest right now is that the three-judge bench is already assembled. Matter is to come before the Supreme Court anytime. The three-judge bench led by the Chief Justice of India, Suryakant, the matter will be heard anytime, and all these few of the protesters and activists who wants to be the part of the hearing, wants to listen in as to what's going on. Few of them has gone inside the Supreme Court and probably go inside the court number 1 of the top court as we speak, and the hearing could come on board this particular case, the CBI's petition, challenging the Delhi High Court's December 23rd order. This particular case is to come on board in the Supreme Court anytime. This is what is the latest from the court number 1 of the top court. Also, Solicitor General Tushar Mehta is for the Central Bureau of Investigation. He is inside the courtroom, court number 1, and the court number 1 is, to an extent, it can be said that it's jam-packed. And what's going on outside the Supreme Court? There was a minor protest reported outside the top court 20 minutes back as we speak, and that has been taken care of in a way. Few sloganeering were heard outside the number D of the Supreme Court, but now, as of now, we are reporting from outside the Supreme Court, from the media launch, and here, in a way, everybody, all eyes are on the court number 1 of the Supreme Court as to what the Chief Justice of India, Suryakant, will have to say when the matter comes before him. And now, as we were discussing as to what exactly the trial court has said while convicting Kuldeep Sengar in the section under section 5 clause C of the
All right,
POCSO
Sambhav, I'll
Act.
request you to please stay on with us. In fact, we also are joined by R.K. Singh, Supreme Court advocate, on the broadcast. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on the broadcast. Appreciate your time. Sir, when you're looking at this entire issue, we are seeing that the Supreme Court is going to hear the CBI's special leave petition today in this entire case. How do you look at this entire case unfolding?
Thank you very much, Shivani. Thank you very much. Look, Shivani, this case, this bail of Kuldeep Singh Sengar has red flagged many a judicial mind. Almost the entire country is divided between two extreme streams of judicial understanding. Admittedly, for the legal mind, understanding this bail is a very far-fetched dream. Most of the prudent legal minds of this country is not understanding the reason as furnished by the honorable judges of the High Court when they were granting bail. So in all probability, if you ask me as a lawyer, my judicial conscience and my judicial reasoning is not adhering to the logics and the reasons given in the bail. So I am expecting the Supreme Court in its earnest hearing is to stay the order of the High Court. And I'm sure Supreme Court is going to stay it, so far as I understand the entire issue. Yes, please.
So, also we were trying to decode that Delhi High Court judgment that has also come into the question, that December 23rd order. It has stated some points. It's talked about how you cannot talk about influence in the case or in the investigation. It's also talked about how the trial court may have erred in its judgment because it didn't look at the government school records when it comes to the minor. It's also spoken about section 5 of POSCO, which is something that the CBI will be challenging as well.
Look, there are so many paradoxical findings which is inherent in the judgment of the High Court. First and foremost, when we go into the definition of the public servant, the High Court has relied on the preposition as propounded by Supreme Court is Aaron Thule's case, whereby MLA is being declared as not as a public servant, right? So till here we don't have any issue. Secondly, in Lal Krishna Advani's case, the same very Supreme Court has said that if a elected representative is performing any duty, then the public servant nature is deemed to be invested in that person. So ideally the High Court should have looked into the Advani's case rather than to give this accused an elbow space of Aaron Thule's judgment. Secondly, so far taking away taking away Kuldeep Singh Sengar from the ambit of POXO Act, it is a very far-fetched judicial imagination. The High Court was well within its right to expedite the hearing, rather than to say indirectly that since we cannot expedite the hearing, so we are granting him bail. Because this is not an ordinary case, and this criminal is not this accused is not an ordinary accused. Because the charges leveled against him are very diabolical and very disturbing in nature. So releasing him on bail rather than to expedite the entire hearing is something which is, not satisfying the judicial conscience of many of the lawyers and legal experts of this country. And I am no different in it. Yes, please.
Absolutely, sir. In fact, you have been talking about the bail conditions as well. The bail conditions were seemingly very simple, sir. Some amount of money, and that you are supposed to stay outside a 5-kilometer radius of the victim. Do you think that a man of such political clout cannot have sufficient power, to influence the witness? There can be witness intimidation. That's what the victim's family also has been coming forward and stating, sir.
Shivani, so very rightly you have answered your question in your, you have answered the question yourself. So you see, this is when I am telling that this man is not an ordinary man, he is a very powerful politician, And we should not forget one thing, that when he was behind the bar, the aunts of the accused, the victim, the father of the victim, they all were killed. So these kind of people, they do not need to have a physical proximity with the victim to influence or threaten or to eliminate or disturb the proceeding. Wherever they are, whether they are in Delhi, America, England, wherever they are sitting, they have enough resources and means to disturb the life of victims. And they have done it earlier also. This is not an aberration. These conditions, they are only a technical thing. And these conditions of not going within the radius of 5 kilometers and imposing a monetary fine, charges of 15 lakhs. These are very trivial issues, very trivial conditions. Because looking into the might of this man, These things he can easily overcome the hurdle of these things, because he is, after all, accused, a convicted criminal, and a criminal of very powerful nature, and that goes without saying.
All right,
Yes,
sir.
please.
I'd request you to, in fact, please stay on with us. I need to introduce this piece of information. The Supreme Court